Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb Bomber Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Grant Hicks is on the camera, and on the headset with me for the Varsity contest is going to be Tegan Perry. Tegan, who did all but one of our football games as the color commentator, is going to help us with some stats, and hopefully he can keep up. Basketball is a little faster, Tegan. They might score points faster than they score touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true, but I think I'll be able to keep up just as easily as I did in football.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the fresh soft contest was a little lopsided. Bombers won by 50. Braden Holdhouse 31 points in 3 quarters of action, so he had a pretty decent night. I don't know that the Bombers will have that much success here in the varsity contest, but they come into the night with a 4-1 record, do the Bombers, and have improved in every game at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. And Ian Case is the name that sticks out to me from Saturday as the most improved, and we'll see what he's able to do tonight. Of course, Drew Watson was named to the all-tournament team, and it looks like JT Jeter is on the floor tonight too.
Yeah, he received an injury during football, so it's glad to see him back on the court and being able to, get out there, get some reps in, and hopefully play a full game today.
Yeah, it's good to see him back, and Langdon Allen and Nolan Kerr have been kind of the two, for lack of a better term, unsung heroes for the Bombers this year. Langdon Allen scored some points, like 12 in one game, and Nolan Kerr scored 12 or so in a couple games, but more than scoring for them, it's been defense. Well, and they have been able to shut down some key competitors for the other team and made the Bombers' scores pretty lopsided.
Yeah, but I think that's the basis for most Macomb sports. You play for defense. I've gone through a lot of sports, and every single one they seem to prioritize defense first over offense. Because when you look at like wrestling, they do defense first. When you look at football, it's defense first. And here too, it's the same thing. You stop them from scoring, it doesn't matter what they do as long as you can score more than them.
Yep, I was always told when I played junior high basketball and stuff, if the other team doesn't score, you can't lose.
Yep.
So defense is important. We're down to about a minute to go before tip-off here. We should have the national anthem and the starting lineups here in just a second. And Grant is sleeping up there. Hey, why don't you go up there and tell him what to do for the starting lineups? Tell him to go back and forth or focus on them, okay?
Okay.
Grant's new, and we didn't do starting lineups for the JV contest, so that's something that he wasn't told about. Brian Kerr from Sports Corner walking in the house. Is a pretty stacked gym here tonight at the hangar in Macomb High School. As Coach Horrell of the elder variety is on the PA tonight. He's going to have the starting lineups and a national anthem. Starting lineup first.
For Geneseo, number 4, Jacob Harris. For Macomb, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Connor Watson. For the Maple Leafs, number 11, Alani Couture. For the Bombers, a 5'10" senior, number 10, Steven Stuffelbein. For Geneseo, number 24, Easton Smith. For the Bombers, a 6'2" senior, number 13, Langdon Allen.
Hey, they're catching up.
For Geneseo, number 34, Landon Nordstrom. For the Bombers, a 6' senior, number 20, Nolan Kerr. For Geneseo, number 35, Owen Parker. Maple Leafs are coached by Mr. Brad Storm, assisted by Kai Vanderkree, Josh Pierce, and Manny Rivera. For the Bombers, number 24, 6'2" senior, Jack Duncan. The Bombers are coached by Jeremy Anderson, Ryan Langworthy, and Zach Keene. If you please now rise, face the flag for for the playing of our national anthem by the Macomb High Pep Band under the direction of Doug Matsey.
And there was the starting lineups for the contest. And the Macomb Pep Band is always a fantastic pep band. If you haven't caught the Macomb Pep Band, they are phenomenal. And the Bomber fight song being played now as well. As we get ready to go here for the home opener for the Macomb High Bombers boys basketball team, the varsity squad, getting ready to fire off against Geneseo. As we are ready to go with first quarter action. Thank you, Tegan. I appreciate it. Tegan's back under the headset now. I'll turn him back up. You're not breathing too hard, are you?
No, I'm breathing just fine.
He ran all the way up to the top of the bleachers, so we do appreciate that. And it's going to be Jack Duncan jumping it up. Ian Case is not starting tonight. Tipped out. It went off of Geneseo on the tip. It'll be Bomber basketball. Watson to inbound. Steven Stufflebeam locks it up the floor. Steven Stufflebeam getting his first start of the season tonight. Right side to Kerr. Down low to Duncan. Duncan goes right to the hoop. Puts a shot up and in. Jack Duncan. Just that quick. Less than 15 seconds in, and the Bombers draw first blood. It's 2-0. Macomb High here over Geneseo. The Maple Leafs are in town. Not of the Toronto variety. They're much closer. With the basketball, number 35 is Owen Parker. Jacob Harris is number 4. Parker's going to drive again. Backs it out to number 34. That's Landon Nordstrom. Number 24 is Easton Smith. And Jacob Harris is number 4, as I said. The other starter, number 11, is Lonnie Couture. It's going to be Smith with it. He'll give it to Parker. Parker near side to Couture. Couture's going to drive. Stufflebeam cuts him off. Watson had a hand in there and knocked it away. The shot was by Smith, off no good. Bombers go back the other way.
Yeah, it just seems like Geneseo couldn't find an open shot right there.
Watson goes to Langdon Allen right side. Everything's on the right thus far for the Bombers. Duncan, another bucket. Duncan controlling the post for the Bombers offensively, and it's 4-0 Bombers with 6:33 to go here in the first quarter. Nordstrom goes far side to Couture. Couture on the dribble. Stufflebeam still on him. He goes outside to Parker. Approaching the 6-minute mark at quarter number. Oh, a nice cut without the basketball for Nordstrom. Knocked out of bounds almost, but saved by Duncan. And Watson pulls up long three, right wing, long, no good. Stufflebeam tried to knock it away from Couture, no doing. And the Bombers miss their first opportunity to score of the night.
Having a pretty clean game so far, not a lot of fouls, or no fouls at all.
If we start getting fouls called now, it's your fault. It's the jinx. The announcer's jinx. It's your fault if it happens. Couture with it. 5:30 remaining. And the pass from Smith was brought in by Harris just barely. Parker Now with it, up top it goes to Nordstrom. Nordstrom right side to Smith. He tried to go to Couture. It's tipped away by Stufflebeam. He'll get the steal and take it back the other way for the Bombers. Left side to Kerr. Kerr's going to go to the rack. His layup is good. Nolan Kerr gets the bucket. And a timeout on the floor is going to be charged to the Geneseo Maple Leafs. It is a 30-second timeout. This game being brought to you tonight by McDonough District Hospital. McDonough District Hospital athletic trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to Spartan student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. And Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, Chris, or any of the crew. Or visit www.lbsellscars.com to check out their inventory.
Number 11, Brody Clentz is back to give the ball off.
Smith with it. He's going to be fouled by Watson. His first, team's first. Couture is going to inbound it again. Lonnie Couture with the basketball. He was bounced to him, and he actually missed it. Now Langdon Allen's going to get the steal on the inbounds. He's going to give it to, well, he wanted to give it to Watson, but he mishandled it. Instead, Kerr's going to try three, left corner. Good for Nolan Kerr.
That was a beautiful three right there.
A sports corner three for Nolan Kerr, and the Bombers lead 9-0. 4:40 remaining in the first quarter. And Kerr with a steal for the Bombers, and he's going to push it right back the other way. Goes left side to Duncan. Duncan's going to go. The runner across the lane. He floated, missed the shot, got his own rebound, missed it again. That time Harris gets the rebound. He's going to push it back the other way for the Maple Leafs. He goes down to Parker. Parker back to Harris, tipped away by Duncan as he retreated down the floor. And it's out of bounds, possession to the Bombers. And checking in for the first time is J.T. Jeter and also Jake Hobson for the Bombers.
Getting a little bit of height advantage here to deal with number 35, Owen Parker.
Duncan takes a seat for the first time. It's inbounded to Harris. Right side to Couture. Couture on the dribble. It's also Hunter Wilson in the game as he was on the guard of Couture that time. J.T. Jeter got the rebound, and he takes it back up the floor for the Bombers. High ankle sprain in the first playoff game for the Bombers kept Jeter out early in the season. He gets it down on the post, comes back out to Langdon Allen. He'll loft the tray from the left side of the top of the key, and he nails it. A sports corner three for Langdon Allen, and the Bombers lead 30-12 with 3:40, 12-0 with 3:40 to go. I'll get it out in a second.
And Langdon Allen with another steal.
Tyler, are we getting no sound again? Tyler, can you hear us? Well, it shows that it's going through here. I can't really do anything else. And a steal, and Watson gets the bucket. Can anybody hear us? Tyler Cummins is saying he can't hear us. Is it his TV or is it our equipment? Let us know, folks, if you would, please. Somebody. It's 14-0. Well, it must be your TV then, buddy. I apologize. Harris gives it to Parker, top of the key, picked up by Hobson. Right side it goes to Couture. Now up to Nordstrom. Nordstrom on the drive, picked up by Langdon Allen. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate it. Couture to Smith. Now up top to Nordstrom. 2:35 remaining in the first quarter. And a travel called on Landon Nordstrom. Lindsey May checking in for Macomb High. And Langdon Allen going to take a seat.
This Macomb defense right now is just suffocating Geneseo. They can't find a lane to get open and take an open shot.
Geneseo is struggling offensively, that is for sure. 2:30 remaining. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. JT Jeter is going to drive. The runner's off, no good. Rebound to Nordstrom, and he'll bring it back the other way for Geneseo with 2:20 remaining. He goes all the way to the hoop, and he traveled again, but no call, and Wilson gets the rebound. Tries to outlet it to Jeter. He gets it to Jeter, and Jeter gets a layup. His first basket of the 2022-2023 campaign is JT Jeter. Gets the basket, and it's 2 minutes remaining. The Bombers lead 16-0.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Geneseo right now.
Geneseo.
Geneseo, my bad.
Nordstrom gets the bucket to fall. First 2 points of the contest come at the 1:46 mark. Hunter Wilson gives it to Lindsey May. Lindsey May to Connor Watson for a 3. It's no good. Nordstrom gets the long rebound. 1:30 remaining in the first quarter. In the game is number 3, Max Biddle. Down to Harris. Biddle with it now. And Hunter Wilson goes back the other way and gets the layup.
Well, he kind of almost overran that, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do, is run full speed down the court, get the ball, and lay it up. It's not as easy as one might think if you've never played before.
Yeah.
These guys make it look pretty easy, though. Harris to Biddle. To Parker, left wing. On the dribble into the lane, dumps it out to Biddle near side on the baseline, corner. He's going to drive into the lane now. He's going to dump it out to Parker. Parker will loft up the tray from the left side. It's off, no good. Tipped out, picked up by Harris. 33 seconds left. You might have heard Coach Anderson say you got to have that rebound. Parker on a nice cut on a give and go, and Parker gets the second set of points for Geneseo on the night. It's 18-4. Bombers lead. Up top it comes to Lindsey May, left side to JT Jeter. Up to Connor Watson for 3. It's off, no good. Harris gets the rebound. 5 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. Watson with a steal. 2 seconds, 1 second. Puts it up. Foul called. It's a block. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. The foul's going to be on Nordstrom, number 34. That'll be his first, team's first. And they won't have to be at the free throw line to shoot these. Or they won't have to be at the free throw lane to shoot these, as the time expired. Watson will be shooting 2 free throws here. Chance to give the Bombers a 16-point lead as the quarters come to an end. Man, not going to make that one. He's a little off thus far tonight. He shot for a whole week in Bushnell's gym, so it is a little different background here. And the second one's off as well. Connor Watson, uncharacteristically missing a couple free throws there. We'll take our first break of the night, and we'll be back as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
Welcome back to Macomb High School. The Bomber cheerleaders are out on the floor now. Thanks, Kent, for tuning in. We appreciate it. And Tyler, you're welcome. We appreciate you watching all these broadcasts. This game also being brought to you by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. So it will be Maple Leafs basketball to start the second quarter. Second quarter is underway, and they throw it away just that quickly. through the G because Geneseo got that jump ball. So now you know Macomb gets the next one.
Yeah, I put one through.
Stufflebeam to Hobson, down to Kerr. Kerr goes right to the rack, and Kerr gets his 6th. Actually make that 7th, right?
Yeah, that would be number 7.
Yep, 7 points for Kerr. He's got a sports corner 3. Nordstrom to Ludwig. Kroll's Ludwig in the game. Also in the game, number 21 is Mason Beeler. Tries to get down to Nordstrom. Langdon Allen knocks it away out of bounds. Possession will stay with Geneseo, though. 20-4 is the score. Bombers with the lead. Checking in for the Bombers is going to be Lindsey May, number 23. He'll replace Jake Hobson.
It seems like Langdon was trying to use his football hands there to try to grab the ball, corral it in.
Yep, not quite able to hold on to it, though. Parker has it, picked up by Lindsey May. He's going to try and drive, backs it out, gives it to Biddle. Biddle to Ludwig, and Ludwig loses it. Now he gathers it back up, goes, and he's blocked from behind by Jack Duncan, and he's going to run the floor. A little Euro step and a reverse layup is good for Jack Duncan. Give him 6 points on the night, and it's 22-4. Bombers with the lead here, 6:53 remaining in the first half. Beeler with it. He gives it to Biddle. Parker on a cut. May cuts that away, though. Biddle now has Stufflebeam down in the post. It's off, no good. Duncan with another rebound.
Seems like Duncan, whatever he does, is just good at it, no matter what.
Langdon Allen picks up his dribble, gives it to Stufflebeam. 6:30 remaining. That's what athleticism will do for a guy. Stufflebeam, the runner's off, no good. Duncan with the rebound. He's a little fadeaway is good. Give him 8 points. And it's 24-4. And an official's timeout for Jack Duncan to tie his shoe. And a double knot just for good security.
Never go wrong with a good old double knot.
That's right. That is right. Beeler brings it up the floor for the Maple Leafs. It's 24-4. Bombers with the lead. Biddle in the corner to Beeler. To Ludwig. Parker, far side. It is Ludwig again. Now up top to Beeler. Ludwig. Parker cuts, and he's going to be fouled, I believe, by Lindsey May, but it fouls on the floor. That'll be May's first, team second. Only 3 fouls have been called so far in this first half. I think your observation was astute and pretty early, but it's stayed true, hasn't it? Not very many fouls have been called. A pretty clean basketball game.
Yeah, just when you get a defensive game like this and teams are playing well, you don't often have people just trying to shove it forward.
Langdon Allen with the steal for the Bombers. He goes outside. Nolan Kerr pump fakes the floater. Good. Give him 9 points.
Yeah, he's their leading player tonight.
26-4 should be the score. Our scoreboard's a little slow to update occasionally. Has a little backdoor cut for Nordstrom, but retreating, and kind of like when he's playing defensive back, he cuts in line and knocks the pass away. It was Langdon Allen. A line change in for the Bombers. J.T. Jeter, Hunter Wilson, Braden Holdhouse, fresh off 31 points in the JV contest.
And
Jake
Connor
Hobson
Watson.
and Connor Watson checking in. And that's a live ball. Holdhouse is going to track it down, goes to the hoop, misses a shot. Hobson comes down with it and gives it to Holdhouse. Out top to Watson with 5:09 remaining in the first half. Oh, what a look from Hunter Wilson. For some reason, Holdhouse didn't put it right up, but he gets the Country Financial Bank shot nonetheless. Abraham Olson, Country Financial Bank shot there, and it's 4:53 to go here in the first half. The Bombers lead 28-4, and Beeler ended up traveling with it because he was going to go to Parker, and Parker, just as he was stepping to pass, Parker took off, and he couldn't throw it to where he wanted it to go. Holdhouse will inbound to Watson with 4:47 remaining.
Seems like Connor just wanted to give it back to Holdhouse. You got it, bro.
And there's a steal by Biddle. He'll bring it back the other way. He's going to come across the lane to Ludwig, and Holdhouse blocks Ludwig, and then Hobson hops up and puts the bumper guard back on.
Playing with a little bit of aggression there, are we?
Yeah, that was a big-time block there. 4:30 to go in the first half, and Hobson's going to get called for the block. That'll be the team's third foul, first on Hobson. Checking in is going to be Couture for the Maple Leafs, replacing Beeler. Very short bench for the varsity squad for Geneseo. Well, they only have 3 kids sitting over on the bench tonight. Well, 4, but one of them isn't dressed. Out of bounds. Possession to the Bombers on the errant pass. 4:24 remaining in the first half. Connor Watson gives it back to Holdhouse. He goes to Hunter Wilson on the right wing. Back up to Connor Watson. Watson's going to drive, dumps it out to J.T. Jeter. He dumps it out to Watson for 3. It's off, no good. A little push off by Hobson, but he's going to get the rebound, no call. Up top, Hunter Wilson. Now he's going to drive, dumps it out to Connor Watson again. If you're a shooter, you keep shooting. That one's off, no good. Hobson with the rebound. It's off, no good. On the putback, and Harris gets the rebound. 3:50 remaining.
Sometimes the shots don't go your way. Sometimes the ball just bounces wherever it wants.
Oh, nice cut and a nice pass. Harris with the reverse layup attempts, off no good. Hunter Wilson with the rebound. He outlets it to Jeter. Jeter's shots up, off no good. A little bit of contact, no foul called. Couture with the rebound, and he's trying to get it up the floor. He does get it up the floor to Ludwig. Ludwig on the dribble now, picked up by Jeter. Nordstrom, top of the key, 3:20 remaining in the first half. Jeter tries to get the steal from Nordstrom. It's going to come up top to Biddle. Biddle left side. Harris down in the corner. It goes to Couture. Couture now on the dribble. It's going to go up top to Nordstrom. And Holdhouse is going to be called for the foul. Team number 4, first foul on Holdhouse. 4 different players with 1 foul for the Bombers. 3:04 to go in the first half. Holdhouse and Hobson take a seat. Langdon Allen and Jack Duncan return. Bombers up by 24, 28-4. They gave up just 6 points the entire game to West Prairie at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. And a travel is going to be called on Nordstrom as he jump stopped and then pivoted, and you cannot do that. 2:58 to go in the first half. Connor Watson's going to take it up the floor this time. Left side, J.T. Jeter. Nice cut by Kerr, and he gets called for the travel. I think he wanted to put the layup up. He took the steps to do the layup, but then was fading away too much and couldn't get the shot off, so he tried to stop, but gets called for the travel. Smith with it up the floor for Geneseo. He's going to loft one up. It's off, no good. Watson with the rebound, and back the other way it goes for the Bombers. J.T. Jeter, layup is off, no good. Couture with the rebound for Geneseo. Couture still looking to drive, picks up his dribble, goes to Harris, knocked away momentarily. Harris' turnaround jumper's good.
There we go.
6 points for Geneseo. 2:10 remaining here in the first half. J.T. Jeter brings it up the floor for the Bombers now. Left side to Nolan Kerr, now to a cutting Watson, out to Langdon Allen. He'll loft another Sports Corner 3. It's well off the mark. Rebound to Nordstrom. 1:55 remaining. Smith drives against Kerr. Turns around, puts one up. It's off, no good. Duncan with the rebound. And he's going to outlet it to Jeter. Jeter's going to drive and tried to get it to Langdon Allen up over his head, and it got away from him a little bit. Langdon says, I can jump, but I can't jump that high.
Yeah. Macomb has had a lot of beautiful passes today. That's unfortunately one of the unbeautiful ones, as some may say.
Couture now to Smith. They bring it up the floor with 1:28 remaining. Harris. That's a double dribble. 1:20 remaining. Watson walking it up the floor slowly, gives it off to Kerr. Jack Duncan, right side Watson. Man-to-man defense for the Maple Leafs. Duncan's going to drive. He's going to have it knocked away. It looked like it was more arm than ball, but no whistle. 1:02 remaining. It'll stay with the Bombers.
I think one of the players on Geneseo thought it was already out. Oh.
Into Duncan. He's going to be fouled that time. Not sure if it's going to be on Harris. Jacob Harris picks up his first, I think. Team's second. Jack Duncan will be shooting 2 free throws with 1:01 remaining in the first half. Duncan's got 8. Give him 9 as he makes the first.
Now tied with Nolan Kerr for most points on the team in this game.
Jack Duncan trying to go for a team-high 10 points right here, and he does. Hits it. Couture brings it up against Watson. 53 seconds remain. Ludwig over to Smith. Near side to Couture. Couture on the dribble across the lane. Comes up top to Ludwig. 42 seconds remaining. Parker with it now top of the key. Left side to Harris. Down in the corner to Couture. Back up to Smith. Now looking down low to Harris. He's going to try and spin in the lane. Can't get a shot with Allen guarding him. Parker skips it out near side to Smith. Smith trying to drive. Goes behind the back. Picks up his dribble. Goes down to Harris. Tipped away by Langdon Allen with 18 seconds remaining. And Nolan Kerr. Holy smokes. Nolan Kerr about got leveled by Smith. No foul called. 11 seconds remaining. 30-6 is the score. And a layup for Connor Watson. Make it 32-6. 3, 2, 1. Parker's going to loft a three-quarter court shot. It was hard off the backboard. No good. And the Bombers lead at the halfway point, 32-6. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with some stats here from the hangar at Macomb High School.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Art Purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
And welcome back here to Macomb High School. We'll tell you some stats. A 30-second timeout was called in the first half by Geneseo. That is the only timeout. Actually, the Bombers took a 30-second timeout also, I do believe. No, they didn't. So it's 5 timeouts remaining for Macomb, 4 timeouts remaining for the Geneseo Maple Leafs. who have just 6 points at the half. It is 2 points for Jacob Harris, 2 points for Landon Nordstrom, and 2 points for Owen Parker for the Bombers. Connor Watson has 4 points with 1 foul. JT Jeter has 2 points. 2 points for Hunter Wilson. 3 points for Langdon Allen. 9 points for Nolan Kerr. 10 points for Jack Duncan. And 2 points for Braden Holdhouse at the half. The Bombers had 4 first half fouls. The the Maple Leafs had just 2 first half fouls. The Bombers were the only team to shoot a free throw, and that was 2 free throws by Jack Duncan. There's not a lot of free throws, not a lot of fouls being called in this one, and it has been a one-sided affair. We're at the half here at the hangar at Macomb High School. We'll take another break. It's 32-6. Bombers with the lead. We'll be right back.
I went through MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back to Macomb High School for a few minutes here as we're at the half. The Bombers lead 32-6. As the two teams are in the locker room. Just as I say that, the Bombers walking out of the locker room already with 4 minutes and 28 seconds remaining. And the only thing that I could think of taking is why they're out so quick is, as you mentioned, the defense has looked very good for the Bombers. That's been what their 4 wins, which have come 4 in a row, their defense has been the key. I wonder maybe if Coach Anderson's like, we need to warm up a little bit or get some more shots in, because if there's anything going bad for the Bombers tonight, it's the fact that they are not shooting the ball very well.
Yeah, they went through like not a 4 minute, but like a 2-3 minute stretch where just neither team was able to get a ball in the basket. So let's see if it pays out. They've shot pretty well in the first quarter. It's just sometimes get that little slump, and sometimes you got to shoot the ball to get over that slump.
Yep, that's why I said Connor Watson struggling from the field a little bit, but he's a shooter. So he's going to keep shooting, and he's got the green light to keep shooting. So he's going to try to rearrange that. As the Macomb Bomber pep band is in the background playing, and Macomb always has one of the best pep bands. Back in the day, every school had that huge pep band, and you go in and you get goosebumps watching the pep band and the crowd getting involved in it. And this is a school that still has that. They still have that old school feeling with a great pep band.
Yeah, they pride themselves as an entire fan base of the Macomb Bombers as the best fan base in all of Illinois, let alone all of the world. They think that they have the most passionate fans here, and no matter what. When I saw it during football, we did not have that great of a teams, but every single person still came up, showed out to support their team, and at the end of the day, for the school, that's what you really want, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Fans, true fans, support in the good and the bad times. Since it was a good time right now for the Bomber football team after a 11-0 or 10-0 start to the season, finished 10-1 with a heartbreaking loss to Murfreesboro, but was a great year, and they're picking up kind of where they left off. They did drop the first game to West Hancock, but the Bombers have been dominant since that point, and a lot of it has been thanks to the defense. This game being brought to you tonight by the Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street in Macomb, serving soup, salad, sandwiches, homemade dessert, Blue Bunny ice cream, and they have a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day long, and they have free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairymacomb.com or call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. And Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar, is Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. I want to tell you that we will be at Sports Corner at 124 tomorrow night after the men's game at WIU. We're going to be very honored to have J.D. Gravina and Coach Rob Jeter coming up and joining us. Both the men's and women's teams play tomorrow night. I believe the women play at 5, the men play at 7:30, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. But at any rate, get out to Western Hall and cheer on the Leathernecks. Looks like Ian Case has got a bum right ankle as he's a little hobbling, got some ice walking to the huddle, so that's why we haven't seen him tonight, it would appear. But we will be up there. I'm going to guess that we try to start around 8:30 or so with the show. We did send a message to Coach Kirby from West Central. They were the state champions in the I-8FA. And he is planning on coming to one of our shows at some point. And we hope to have him on as we're ready to go with third quarter action here. Third quarter is underway. Bombers with the basketball. Connor Watson on the dribble. Dribbles around about 4 green jerseys, backs it back out. Duncan with it. Looks to Stufflebeam, who cut through the lane. Nothing doing. He's going to get it out to Stufflebeam finally. Watson to Kerr. Kerr to Duncan. Duncan's going to go, draws some contact. He'll get 2 shots, and a foul's going to go to Jacob Harris. That'll be his second. Team foul number 1 of the second half for the Maple Leafs. Jack Duncan, the only player to shoot free throws here tonight, has 2 more coming with 7:27 to go in the third quarter. Bombers lead 32-6. First one's good. He's 3 for 3.
Yep. Having one of the best nights he's had for basketball so far.
Second one is good. He's got a team-high 12 points. 34-6. Bombers with the lead. Parker with it. Right side to Smith. Bombers still playing that tenacious man-to-man defense that they've become known for this year. That looked like a carry for Smith.
Some of the student section getting a little bit riled up right now.
Nordstrom. Far side Parker. Up top to Couture. Couture on the dribble. Goes back across to Smith. Easton Smith, number 24. Back to Jacob Harris. His turnaround, high off the glass, no good. Kerr with the rebound. Langdon Allen broke down the floor, but nobody had the arm. Duncan didn't have the ball to throw a football pass to him.
Yeah.
Or a baseball pass. He's a pitcher, so I guess either one would work, right? Langdon Allen to Jack Duncan. Now Connor Watson being mugged by Smith. Goes to Duncan on the left wing. Duncan now wanted a backdoor cut from Stufflebeam, but Couture cut it off. Connor Watson with it, and Duncan was wide open across the lane, and Watson didn't find it. He finds him that time, and Jacob Harris is going to get his third foul, and Duncan is going to have a chance to go 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Bombers scored just 2 points thus far, 6:14 to go in the third quarter, both of them from the free throw line in the second half, off the hand of Jack Duncan as he remains the only player to shoot free throws. First one is good.
I was gonna say it's hard to miss those free throws when you're a quarterback.
Well, he's shooting them pretty good tonight, that is for sure. He's 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. He's got 14 points to lead all scorers in this one. Couture, Steven Stufflebeam is all up in his grill. And now Watson comes out to guard Smith. Nordstrom with the shot. Stufflebeam with the rebound. He's going to run down the floor. Outlets it to Langdon Allen. Langdon Allen's going to put up the shot. He's fouled by Smith. That'll be the team's third foul.
Smith's first.
East and Smith picking up the foul. The only somebody different other than Duncan shooting free throws now. It's Langdon Allen. And he hits the first one. Bombers 7 for 7 from the free throw line, unofficially. And he makes that one as well. Bombers 8 of 8 from the charity stripe.
Yep. Langdon has 5 on the game so far. 1 3 and then 2 of the free throws right there.
Harris right side to Smith, down in the corner to Parker. Parker picked up by Duncan. It's Langdon Allen guarding Nordstrom. Watson out on Smith. Turnaround jumper by Parker is off no good. Ends up in the hands of Couture. Now to Parker. Smith right wing. Down low to Nordstrom. 5:22 remaining in the third quarter. Couture for 3. It's good.
Beautiful 3 right there.
Watson, step back 3. Sports Corner 3 is good for Connor Watson. 41-9.
Don't want to get Connor Watson heated up.
Left side Smith tries to go down to Parker. It goes off his hands as it was a good look, but Parker wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
Those nice looks are really good looking, but they don't look so good when one of them isn't looking.
Yeah.
How many times can I say look in one sentence?
I don't know.
Connor Watson.
Make it a tongue twister.
There you go. Connor Watson, Langdon Allen left side. Still man-to-man defense again as Hobson, who's checked into the game, can't cut fast enough for Langdon Allen. JT Jeter in a game as well as Stufflebeam and Kerr are out. And Couture for Geneseo is on the dribble. JT Jeter guarding him. Harris going to drive through the lane, dump it out. 3 on the way by Smith. Off no good. Tipped by Harris. Rebounded by Jeter. Outlet to Duncan. Duncan's going to go to the rack, and the layup is good from JT Jeter to Langdon Allen. And Langdon Allen gets his 7th point. And the Bombers lead 43-9. Parker. Couture. Parker. Left side Smith. Back up to Nordstrom, excuse me. Now it's Couture. Left side to Smith. 3:46 remaining, and that went right through, and I don't think anybody touched it. That went through 2 white jerseys and 2 green jerseys, and nobody touched it.
Sometimes you just find that perfect hole, and then that perfect hole is the hole you don't want to get.
Yeah, Tyler, you're right. Bomber D is looking really good about right now with 3:46 remaining here in the third quarter. Connor Watson brings it across half court. Nolan Kerr with it, who's back in the game. Hobson to Connor Watson. Up top to Duncan. Left side, JT Jeter. 3:30 remaining. Jeter's going to drive. Finger roll is good for JT Jeter.
He has 4 on the night so far.
45-9. Nordstrom, Parker. Smith with it. Up top, Couture. Left side, Nordstrom. Nordstrom has it knocked away by Duncan. Now it's going to be a 2-on-1. Duncan is going to go to the layup, and he leaves it a little short, but Hobson's there and says, thank you. I'll get the offensive rebound, and I'll pad the stats with a bucket, too. So it's 47-9.
That's his first 2 of the night.
I think Duncan did that on purpose.
Duncan loves his big guys, whether it's on the offensive line or whether it's on the basketball court.
That's right. Harris with it on the baseline. Passes out. Duncan with the steal. He's going to go, and the layup is good. Counted, and a foul. Parker's going to pick up the foul. That's team foul number 4. 2 more points for Jack Duncan. Give him 16, and he'll have a free throw coming for the Bombers as Steven Stufflebeam checking back in for the Bombers, as is Lindsey May, and I think Hunter Wilson sitting over on the bench for Jack Duncan. Harris takes a seat. Nordstrom takes a seat. So Beeler's back in. Ludwig is back in. And Biddle is back in for Geneseo as well. Free throw is good. 7 of 7 from the free throw line for Duncan. He leaves the game with a game-high 17 points. 7 of 7 from the free throw line and 5 buckets and an old-fashioned three-point play included. That's a pretty good night for a kid that's supposed to be a baseball player or a football player, not a basketball player. Couture. Beeler might have got away with a little bit of shuffle step there, but he puts the shot up. It's off, no good. Lindsey May with the rebound, and it goes back the other way. Stufflebeam with it now. 2:12 remaining, and Holdhouse gets up off the bench. Kerr now looks to drive, pull-up jumper, 13 feet, good for Nolan Kerr.
11 on the night for Nolan.
He's probably got about a minute to try and catch Duncan. Biddle gives it off to Ludwig, down in the corner to Beeler. Beeler now on the dribble as Kerr reaches in and gets the foul. That's the Bombers' first foul of the second half.
You know, I thought in my head, Macomb. I thought in my head, Macomb, they haven't committed any fouls. Maybe they can go the game clean. Of course, even in the head, the commentator curse gets you.
There it goes. Couture gives it to Beeler. Picked up by Kerr. Couture on the dribble. Dumps it down to Parker on the right side. Skips up top to Ludwig. Ludwig gives it off to Beeler. Beeler's going to drive. He has it knocked away. Wilson comes up with it. He's going to outlet it to May, and May had tripped and was regaining his balance and couldn't get to the ball in time. It's turnover back over to Geneseo. 1:15 to go. Beeler for 3. It's long. Holdhouse with a block out and let the ball hit the floor. And it's going to be Stufflebeam at the point. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter.
Hard to beat a good defensive team.
Lindsey May has it tipped away. He's going to gather it back. Gives it across to Holdhouse. 50 seconds remaining. Kerr down to Stufflebeam. Stufflebeam's going to put up the little baby hook. And Stufflebeam's on the scoreboard. 54-9. .35 seconds remaining. Couture with it.
13 to shoot.
Parker is going to get called for the travel.
That was a good catch, but unfortunately that ball did not touch the ground after that catch.
Caught it on his hip and couldn't get it down on the floor in time. Drew Watson checking in for the Bombers. So to reset the floor for the Bombers, it's Hunter Wilson, Braden Holdhouse, Lindsey May, Drew Watson, and Steven Stufflebeam. Watson's going to go right to the rack and get the layup, and that's how the quarter will end. The Bombers lead 56-9 at the end of 3. This game being brought to you by Tom Conklin State Farm face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin, State Farm, Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. And M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or the web at www.mnbfurniturinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. And the Community News Brief for all your local news. Subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive the Monday and Wednesday editions by download from the website. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, and Macomb. And check out the latest issue of the Tri-State Sports Report Bites as part of tomorrow's Community News Brief. We're happy to be part of working in conjunction with the Community News Brief and bringing you a special sports section. We'll also have some of those available at area games as well. And it's the fourth quarter underway here from Macomb High School. And the Bombers with the big lead, 56-9. Couture with it. 6 points in the first half, 3 points in the third quarter. The Nordstrom blocked by Holdhouse, and he'll take it back the other way. I mentioned it. Nice pass to Stufflebeam. Holdhouse to Stufflebeam, and the Bombers lead 58-9.
Bombers seem to just be feeding the ball to everyone right now. Nordstrom to Ludwig.
It's going to go back up top to Biddle. Thank you, Tegan. Nordstrom now. Left side to Harris. Ludwig, right side, Nordstrom again. Approaching the 7-minute mark. 7 minutes remaining. Ludwig with it. Right side, Nordstrom. They are running their offense. Nordstrom's turnaround. It's up and good. The Maple Leafs running the offense. They're doing a good job. This Bomber defense is just suffocating.
It is. Like, you can't get any lane open. You can't find a spot to scheme one of your players open.
Harris steals it away from Holdhouse, and then Holdhouse knocks it off the leg of Ludwig. And then Wilson knocks it off the leg, and then Holdhouse down the floor on a pass from Drew Watson. Saw that several times in the JV contest. As I said earlier, Holdhouse 31 points in the JV contest tonight. 6:10 remaining in the basketball game. Bombers trying to keep the Maple Leafs under a 3-point per quarter average. Drew Watson guarding Biddle there. Stufflebeam. 10 guarding 11. Couture for Geneseo. And he tried to give and go, and Stufflebeam wanted no part of that. He gets in the pass and then swipes it away and brings it back for the Bombers. 5:34 remaining. Lindsey May down to Drew Watson. Watson pump fake. Back out Lindsey May. Left elbow jumper off, no good. Holdhouse with the rebound. And it's going to be picked up and set the offense back up. 5:20 remaining as Nordstrom comes out. Hunter Wilson with it now. Left side it goes to May. Now Drew Watson. May, he'll loft up the three. It's short. Rebound to Holdhouse again. 5:05 remaining. Drew Watson with it now.
Trying to get their threes in right now.
Stufflebeam with it. Stufflebeam's going to drive. The left-handed runner is no good. Rebound to Nordstrom, and it'll go back the other way. He's going to drive to the hoop. Backs it out to Couture. 4:43 remaining. Nordstrom to Biddle. Biddle's going to drive. He has it knocked away, and they're going to call a foul on Stufflebeam. Team foul number 2 for the Bombers. 60-11, 4:23 remaining. Take a look at the Lady Bombers playing over across the way. We'll see what the score is there. Thank you. As Geneseo trying to inbound it, finally does get it to Nordstrom. (39) 28-27 Macomb. Is that what that says?
Yep, that is.
28-27 Macomb Lady Bombers with the lead over Lewiston right now. That's a lot better game than this one is on the scoreboard, as Geneseo got another bucket right there. 60-13. Hunter Wilson to turn around, off no good. Harris had the rebound. He falls to the floor. And Holdhouse going to pick up a foul for the Bombers. Running clock again in this varsity contest in the fourth quarter. 3:15 remaining. Ludwig, Harris. Harris going to drive, jump stop, puts up the shot, and he gets bailed out a little bit, possibly by Wilson. We'll see. Nope. Lindsay May picks up the foul. 60-13. 2 shots coming for Jacob Harris, the 6'2" forward for Geneseo. Hits the first one.
Free throw. Harris back up the shoot.
And it's good as well.
Harris is now the Maple Leafs leading scorer right now.
With 4 points. Is that right?
5.
5 points. Drew Watson breaking some ankles out there. Stuffelbeam now goes behind the back, and Harris is going to get called for the foul. That'll be on the baseline to the Bombers. 2 minutes remaining when it's inbounded. Give or take a few seconds. Lindsay May with it. 1:54 remaining. Stuffelbeam had a look at the three, didn't take it. Going to dump it out to Lindsay May, who loses it. Holdhouse will loft the tray. It's off, no good. Ludwig with the rebound. Smith will bring it up the floor. 1:40 remaining. He'll put up the long jumper. It's good.
Nice shot from him.
Eight points here in the fourth quarter. Almost as many as they had. As Lindsay May misses a shot, gets the rebound, and the put back. And the student section goes nuts for Lindsay May's bucket.
Yeah.
1:13 remaining. A little bit of a carry there, but basket's going to count nonetheless.
Oh.
Steven Stuffelbeam. I don't know what that was about. Something, official timeout for Steven Stuffelbeam. He walked over, threw something on the bench, I think, and just said he was okay and kept going. So I don't know what that was for, but under a minute remaining now here in the fourth quarter. Holdhouse, far side. Got a little bit of a reverse angle as we're on the opposite side of the gym, kind of like we are at BPC. Another one for Lindsay May.
And the crowd's going equally nuts again.
35 seconds remaining. Biddle. Backdoor cut by Harris. The shot's good.
7 for Harris tonight.
15 seconds remaining. Drew Watson walking it up the floor. Three seconds remaining. And that's how it's going to end. The Bombers get a 64-21 win over the Geneseo Maple Leafs. We will take a break, and we'll be back with some final stats here from the hangar at Macomb High School in just a few minutes.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC. I have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
And welcome back to Macomb High School Bomber boys basketball at the hangar. The Bombers win easy, 64-21. It was 58 or something like that. I didn't keep track. At the end of the third quarter to 9. They had a chance to keep it to a 3-point average or below going in through the fourth quarter, but the Geneseo came back, got some points there in the fourth quarter, but 64-21 the final. Last check, the Lady Bombers losing 33-27 to Lewiston over across the crosstown at the Washington Street Gym, as we're happy to be carrying that game as well tonight. So all the Macomb High fans kind of split up here tonight watching all kinds of stuff. We had Justice Keene doing his broadcast on the Bomber Sport Net and network, and of course we had our broadcast here. We had Lady Bombers across town, and we had A-Town on tonight as well. A-Town without sound. That was a game they actually added to the schedule or something. I looked at my schedule. It wasn't on there, so I apologize to Reed Kelso and the crew up there. I just didn't have that one on my schedule, and the schedule I was given, I looked for it again, couldn't find it. So the game up there with no sound tonight, if we'd have had a chance, we might have tried to get somebody up there, or we would have gotten somebody up there, I should say, but no dice tonight, as we hopefully get Coach Anderson to come over here and talk to us before we get off air. The Geneseo Maple Leafs led by Jacob Harris with 7 points. Easton Smith had 4 points, and Landon Nordstrom had 4 points. A 3 by Lonnie Couture and 2 points for Owen Parker. The Bombers finished 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Or 9 of 9 from the free throw line, excuse me. As Jack Duncan was 7 of 7, had 17 points and 10 points from the field. 11 points for Nolan Kerr. 7 points for Drew Watson. 4 points for JT Jeter. 2 points for, Connor Watson had 7. Drew Watson had 2. Steven Stufflebeam had 4. I will try my best. You do the same, sir. 2 points for Hunter Wilson. 7 points for, I'm drawing a blank here. Langdon Allen. 7 points for BT. And 4 points for Lindsay May, 2 points for Jacob Hobson, and 4 points for Braden Holdhouse. The Bombers unofficially 7 total fouls in the game. And just a pretty dominant defensive performance for the Bombers tonight.
Yeah, they played their game plan well, and they executed. Geneseo just didn't have any answers and was unfortunately unable to be able to make an impact against them.
Yeah, they scored some points late in the game, but that was about it for Geneseo. They come to Macomb High and pick up the 64-21 loss. We're going to take another break. Coach Anderson's over talking to Justice right now. We'll have him come over our way when he's done with that. We'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. You've been watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb Bomber Sports. Hang in there. We'll have Coach Anderson on in just a couple minutes.
I went through MDH when we were trying
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Welcome back to Macomb High School for the final time tonight. Coach Jeremy Anderson under the headset with us now. Coach, I mean, you scored 64 points. The offense isn't bad, but your defense, we've talked about it through the whole Spartan Tip-Off Classic. Your defense is just stifling.
Tonight, I thought we really did a nice job. It was a different style of offense than we'd seen. No one at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic ran that style of 5-out pass and cut motion. And so tonight was our first time seeing it full speed. I thought we did a really nice job of closing out on their shooters, keeping the ball out of the middle, and not getting beat on the cuts. And it was something we practiced yesterday, working on it a little bit, but you can't really simulate it when your guys don't know where to go, right? It is a pattern, but it's not a pattern. Like, they have reads and they react to the guy in front of them, where our guys weren't really accustomed to the reads and the reactions. But I thought we did a really good job tonight of recognizing it and then playing with good, solid habits.
Well, I mean, you guys had some I said that I kind of laughed because you came out of the locker room pretty quick. I mean, at halftime, there's not a whole lot to talk about in a game like that, but I kind of laughed a little bit. I said, well, if there was one thing that you have to maybe warm up a little bit more because we didn't shoot real good at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about the only thing. But then in the second half, it seemed a little bit better.
There toward the end of the second quarter, we got a little sloppy. We started to try to take the first available look instead of working for the best available look. And sometimes that leads to disaster. You know, we had a couple bad turnovers. We took a couple quick shots. And actually, that's what we talked about halftime downstairs was let's work the ball now. Okay, the score is lopsided, but now let's work on our stuff. Let's work on our offense against a team that doesn't know where we're running every pass or cut. And let's try to work on our execution, you know, for later in the season.
I saw Ian Case walking with some ice. Did he twist an ankle?
He's got a toe.
A toe problem.
Yep, it happened at the very tail end of the game Saturday night. So he was going to try it tonight in warm-ups, and it was a no-go. So maybe we can nurse him back to health and have him ready for Saturday.
People wonder about toes. Toes, if you've ever hurt a toe, like a bad hurt a toe, it is one of the worst things to hurt because you don't realize how often you hit your toes and use your toes until one's hurt.
It's the push off. Like if you think about it, you're just pushing off with the ball of your foot right now. It's your second toe that is the one that really pushes off, and that's the one that he hurt. And so it may take a while. I mean, I hope that he's able to bounce back because we're really going to need him moving forward.
Well, we've talked about Jack Duncan on numerous occasions. He led you with 17 points tonight. He looked like right from the jump he knew that his role was to score some points in the paint, and he made an effort to do that.
Yeah.
And being 7 of 7 from the free throw line isn't bad either.
Yeah, absolutely. He was intense. He was prepared. He plays with a lot of energy. He's always in the right spot defensively. You know, he's a guy that you can rely on because he's a competitor. And I thought he made some really nice moves to the basket tonight, too.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. I said at one point it's not bad for a kid that's a baseball and a football player and supposedly not a basketball player.
Right, absolutely. I'm glad that he wanted to come out and spend his winter with us because I think he's in, you know, a really valuable part of the team.
As you guys move forward now, one thing I did notice about Geneseo, maybe more than you saw, I know the offense was different, but they actually ran the offense longer and more than I think anybody did against you. Your defense was equally as good tonight, I think, but it had to work longer on each possession than it did any time this past week.
That was the conversation at the end of the first quarter, is they're going to have long possessions, and so you have to outlast them, right? You have to outlast them with good habits. Don't take a break because the second one of you takes a break, they're going to exploit it. And that's good lesson for later in the year when you play teams like Liberty and Payson that have built their programs on running that style of offense. So they're going to move it. They're going to move it. You know, shoot, there were times you play Payson when they were really good. They'd take a minute 20 off the clock just waiting for one of your guys to have a breakdown, and they're going to exploit it. And so if you can practice that some in a live situation, which we were able to do tonight, it's only going to help later on.
I think we talk about all the time your guys' ball denial and in-your-face defense, but the thing I noticed on that offense that they were running, they looked for a lot of back cuts.
Yes,
they moved well without the basketball. There was a few times that some kids maybe got beat a little bit, but your kids are so quick, and they understand passing lanes so well. Stufflebeam, I think, was beat once, and he stepped back and got it. Langdon Allen was. Connor Watson did it. Jack Duncan did it.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, they understand what's going on, it seems like, and they can get into passing lanes really well.
They have to learn to counter the offense's counter, right? Because the offense's counter is to go back door. And so you have to learn to counter that move. You have to be ready to change directions quickly, but the key to that is never losing vision of the ball. You have to see the ball the whole time. Because if you get caught staring at your man and you don't know where the ball's at, or vice versa, you get caught staring at the ball and you don't know where your guy's at, then you're in trouble. But if you can keep vision on both, you should be able to make that recovery. But I still don't like them to get way too extended. That was something we talked about, is we don't really care if they catch the ball a step or two outside the three. Then we're just going to guard them once they catch it, right? That's what they're taught to do, is get a step outside the three, plant that top foot, and go back door. Well, let's not let them get that.
Right. If you're not all over them, they can't backdoor you very well.
We're going to be all over the guy that's got the ball, but then the next guy's got to play it in his gap and be a little bit more responsible where his alignment's at.
Well, you don't have Abington Avon this Friday. That game is off the schedule.
That's exactly
but Q&D Saturday.
Right.
What do you expect to see out of them?
Oh, it'll be a tough physical game. It always is. They're going to be a lot bigger and stronger than we are on the wings. They're going to be well coached, disciplined. They'll have some guys that can shoot it. It'll be an exciting game. I think our kids will really be looking forward to playing it.
That'll be one of those where the mindset is where you want it to be. Probably
sure, absolutely.
Going into
you don't have to worry about the expectations that night.
Well, expectations seem to be okay tonight.
Yeah,
maybe they slipped off a little bit in the second quarter, like you said, but they came out. And I know you said at the Downtown Athletic Club meeting yesterday that you thought Geneseo would be a pretty tough team. Did it surprise you at all that maybe they had the struggles they had, or does it say something about your team, do you think?
I think that we were prepared mentally to come in and compete, and I think that made a lot of difference. And maybe we learned our lesson from that very first game.
I could say that I would say that you must have, because your defense has been really good since then.
Let's hope it stays that way.
What about Holthouse's 31 in a fresh soft game?
He can put it in the bucket, man. He can put it in the bucket. There's nights in practice where we're playing, and he practices with the varsity guys that he lights some of those kids up too. So it does not surprise me one bit.
I haven't done a whole lot of games where anybody scored 31 in a JV contest.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. I don't think he played much fourth quarter.
He didn't play at all.
Yeah,
he went out with like a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, 31 and 3/4. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was joking a little bit going into the fourth quarter. You guys were still on an average of 3 points a quarter.
Yeah.
And if it would have stayed that way, you guys held West Prairie to 6 points.
Yeah.
If you would have held these guys to 12, which you legitimately could have, 10 or 12 if you wanted to, I've never seen a team hold two teams in a year to 10 points or 12 points or whatever.
What, if we can hold Q&D under 20, then I'll really be talking about that later.
So you look at this and you hold them to 20. So Q&D, if you hold them under 35 or 40, you feel like you're doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, as long as we have 36, right?
Yeah, you don't care if I get – okay, now that you pointed out that way.
There was games in Abington where people used to give me the business all the time. They said, you're setting this back. I'm like, hey, if it's 28-27 final, as long as we got 28, I'm okay with that. We don't do that here. We like to get up and run a little bit more here, but we just want to make the other team earn their baskets, right? We don't want to take ourselves out of position. We don't want to put them on the foul line. We don't want to give up transition baskets. And those things, West Hancock exploited the whole game. They got transition baskets, they got to the foul line, and they got second chances. And then we end up losing the game by 20 points. Yeah. And for the rest of the 5 games since, we haven't let teams do that.
The thing that comes to mind when you say that is the transition deal is Illini Bluffs is a team that that's what they won, that 1-3-1 with Alvey up front, and they want transition baskets.
Yes.
And you guys took really good care of the basketball, it felt like, and I don't think that you gave them a single transition basket in that 1-3-1.
Yeah, I don't think we had a problem with it at all.
We talk about the defense, but your offense is in that scenario is almost like a defense, right? Taking care of the basketball, getting good shots. It's like it's the same thing almost.
One of the things we wrote on the board tonight was our offense has to be our defense's best friend. And we talked about the long possessions. If we go down to the other end and jack up the first available, we're going to be on defense the whole rest of the game, right? You don't want to be on defense the whole game.
Right.
That's not fun, right? You want to play a little offense too and make them have to play some defense.
Right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming and talking to us.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime.
And
appreciate you being here.
We'll see you. I guess you're on the road Saturday, so we won't see you till next week, I think, sometime. Are you home next week? I don't
Farmington
even remember.
Next Tuesday. That's going to be fun, too.
That'll be a fun one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get a smile on your face. Those old Prairie Land Conference schools from when you were in Abington.
Let's play the feud.
Trying to stare stuff down. Do you get a little more tingle when you see some of those old schools that you're used to playing back in the day?
No, not like that. It's just how many great battles did Macomb and Farmington have in the Olympic? It's just like we said, the expectations won't be a problem that night.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. Coach Anderson talking to us on the postgame show. That'll do it from the hangar. The Bombers get a 64-21 win over Geneseo. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Tegan Perry was alongside, and Grant Hicks, his first night in the books as a camera operator. I want to thank him for coming on. His grandma and grandpa, Stewart, were here as well. Did you get to see your grandma and grandpa? Did you? So that'll do it. 64-21, Bombers with the win. We'll be back tomorrow night from the Sports Corner at 1:24. Join us for TSSR Weekly. We'll see you then.